Ranveer Allahabdia, India's podcasting star sensation, found himself on the wrong side of his ecosystem. He cracked what he believed was a joke. From union ministers to his right-wing supporters across the country, none of them found it funny. In fact, they were offended. There was an FIR too in Mumbai and one in what is fast becoming the headline capital of India, Assam, under the leadership of its Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. Allahabadia would have been arrested for hurting sentiments and cracking what was clearly a vulgar and an indecent joke had it not been for the intervention of the Supreme Court. But soon the outrage around him by the very same people who once considered him the perfect poster boy for the government's digital propaganda started intensifying. Primetime television shows were baying for his blood. Only a few months earlier, Allahabadia was the proud recipient of the Digital Creators Award, given by none other than the Prime Minister himself. The hurt around his statement was unnatural, just like Allahabadia's joke. One really wondered whether a horrible comment should attract this type of manufactured outrage and even synchronized FIRs, or should it be commensurate to the crime? Well, we didn't have to wait very long. Various arms of the government, the very same ministers who were seen on his podcast, were now convinced that Allahabadia needs to be schooled. Many like him need to be schooled. And so that no one else does what he did, an argument was built around having a regulation around digital content all over again. The government has been trying to tame this animal for a while now. Its original proposal, some experts believe, include government registration and conformity to stringent norms, so stringent that many small players in the digital space may just collapse under the burden of compliance. There was pushback, and the government has not been very successful so far. With mainstream TV news already in its control, digital content creators pose a serious challenge to the government's perception. Plus, it doesn't take a lot of money to get onto digital media, and thus many people, including many former TV journalists, took to Twitter and critiqued the government. Allahabadia's case gave the government a reason to say, oh look, this is what we need to stop.
सोशल मीडिया को बैन करने के लिए या इस तरह की एक्टिविटी के लिए कानून बनाना चाहिए और मेरा आपसे आग्रह है सर कि इस तरह की जो भी कार्रवाई होती है उसके आधार पर चाहे सोशल मीडिया हो, चाहे ब्रेकिंग न्यूज हो, चाहे प्रिंट मीडिया हो, चाहे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया हो, उसके रोक के लिए आप एक कस्टोडियन के नाते, क्योंकि आप गार्जियन हैं हमारे संसद के और आप हमारे गार्जियन हैं, आपको इस तरह से कोई कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए.
Allahabadia is now back. And he says that he has learned his lesson, says he's sorry, and he will be more responsible in producing content over the next 2 decades. For the government, the discourse around taming digital media is now back in the spotlight. Now, how is this case similar to that of Justice Verma? In March, the Delhi Fire Department received a call that a fire has been reported at the residence of former Delhi High Court Judge Justice Verma. Those dousing the fire recovered burnt currency notes from his residence. For a considerable amount of time, the reporting around this incident was actually sketchy. No one knew what exactly happened. How much money was burnt? Where was it exactly in the judge's house? Did this money actually belong to the judge or someone else? The police also was accused of dragging its feet in its initial investigation. A few days later, almost on some sort of a cue, government-friendly television news channels began their carpet-bombing coverage on this incident. All rules of journalism compromised. The words allegedly became scarce. There was a lot of insinuation that the money indeed belongs to the judge. It almost appeared as if the judge is sitting somewhere else and judging this entire incident. The Supreme Court stepped in again. In an unprecedented move, the court released photos and visuals of burnt currency notes. The Chief Justice of India has set up a 3-member committee to probe what exactly happened. The Chief Justice has also asked the Delhi High Court to not give any judicial work to this judge. In fact, has also recommended his transfer to the Allahabad High Court. Newspaper reports suggest that Justice Verma says these notes were found in an outhouse at his Delhi bungalow, which wasn't locked and frequented by all, suggesting this is not his money and he has no knowledge who owns this money. Coming back to the media coverage. 3 to 4 days of non-stop coverage later, the Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, who is also the chair of the Rajya Sabha, invited Amit Shah and Mallikarjun Kharge over a discussion. Guess over what? NJAC, or the National Judicial Appointments Commission. Justice Verma's case seemed like a perfect entry point to raise an issue of law, which has been at the center of dispute between the government and the judiciary. Judges right now are selected by brother judges. This is called a collegium. Government wanted to change this. In Modi 1.0, the government brought in the framework of NJAC, where the idea was that judges be selected by a transparent method. Leader of opposition and functionaries of the government, including judiciary, were meant to be part of this commission. The judiciary struck it down. This issue has been in cold storage since, and Justice Verma's case has provided a fertile opportunity for the politicians to till these fields again. Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra attempted to tell judges that this was a design to curb judicial independence.
Mark my words, just like the Election Commission has been emasculated by the government takeover of its appointments process, this brouhaha and media plants are the beginning of an effort to bring back something like the NJAC with complete government control and do away with the collegium system.
So what do you think? Is there a design to use individual cases to address a larger agenda by the government? One where Ranveer Allahabad and Justice Verma find each other to be neighbors. That's all the time we have in this presentation. This is Sanket Upadhyay signing off. Thank you for watching.